Welcome to MechlordGames!
Hey, what is going on, guys? MechlordGames here today, coming at you the deck profile. Now, yesterday I streamed and I was talking about a little deck that I was working on, and I figured I'd go ahead and show you guys the deck profile right now as it is and kind of explain some things of what I was going to do with the deck, how I had planned it to work out, and some of the changes that I made based off of test results. Which I gotta say, there were some interesting ideas of what I was gonna try. So let's get right down on into the monsters. So 3 Goblinberg. As you guys know, I am a big dire fan of rank 4 decks. I play nearly any rank 4 deck with Goblinberg just because it's searchable and it summons things and it's just amazing. There's no reason to not have that in a rank 4 deck. 2 Summoner Monk. Also pretty fucking obvious why you're going to have Summoner Monk in the deck. This deck has a lot of spells, so it just completely makes sense to have Summoner Monk. Even if the deck didn't have a shitload of spells, I'd probably still be playing Summoner Monk. 2 Kage, because you can make King of the Feral Imps extremely easily and search this out and play it off with the rest of the cards. Now this is some interesting tech for rank 4 deck. I am playing 2 copies of Firefist Bear. Now, a lot of cards in the meta, or even outside of meta in general, are extremely strong. And you want to be able to get rid of them and be able to kind of keep advantage. Bear is actually good at doing that because 1, he is searchable, 2, he can pop monsters, and if he inflicts battle damage to the opponent, he can search out any Fire from Mission card. So he can search out tankies to search into him. Now I'm only running 2 copies of Bear. I do have a third one. I thought about putting Bear to 3 because it seems to be one of the most used cards in the deck. But I'm still leaving it at 2 for testing purposes right now. I don't want to clog Bears, and if I put Bear to 3, I might see it a lot over tankies, and then just have like a lot of dead tankies. So that's not something that I really want to run into. 2 Elemental Hero Shadow Mist. Pretty much obvious. If it's special summoned, you get a mass change card. Go straight for Dark Law, get some hand interruption and graveyard, stoppage. It's pretty diverse. And then 2 Heroic Challenger Assault Halberd. It's a level 4 warrior, it's searchable, it has a Cyber Dragon-like effect where you can special summon it if you control no monsters, but on the other hand, your opponent has to control a monster to be able to summon it. But, if you inflict battle damage, he can search himself out. I would probably play him at 3, but I only have 2 of him, and he's been working just fine at 2. And then for the last monster of the deck, Traptrix Myramilio. If it's normal summoned, search out a Trap Hole trap card. If it's special summoned, blow up a back row card. Pretty straightforward. Summon this from the deck with, Summoner Monk, pop a card. Summon this from the graveyard with Call of the Haunted, pop a card. However, do not summon it off of Goblinberg. Goblinberg will make her miss timing. Because she is a when this card is summoned, not if this card is summoned. Actually, no, never mind. It's if this card is special summoned. So, it's not going to miss timing off of Goblinberg. It's a good thing I quickly went back and read that. Alright, so for spells, we have R3 Upstart Goblins, as per usual in every deck that I play. I used to really hate Upstart Goblin, actually, believe it or not. I always used to think that this card was pretty bad. I never really liked it. I always played Reckless Greed over Upstart Goblin. But now, as I've been playing Upstart Goblin more, my opponent gains 1,000 life points, but with a speedy deck, it's not that big of a deal anymore. I don't really see why people are hating on Upstart because, ooh, they gain 1,000 life points and you draw a card. I don't see why right now that's such a big deal. Triple Rhoda. Half the deck is warriors. Pretty much search out everything. Triple Tenki to search out them bears. Triple Hero Lives to go straight into the Elemental Hero Shadow Mist at the cost of a lot of life points. I have lost solely because of paying this life point cost, and every Masked Hero player knows how deadly it is to play Hero Lives against back row. You play Hero Lives, you get Solemn Warning. Do you play another one, you get Vanity's Emptiness. At that point, you scoop. I've had that happen to me so many times, it's ridiculous. 2 mass changes just to get into them Dark Laws. 2 MSTs to get rid of back row. Yeah, we have Myramilio, but we don't always see her, and we want a little bit more on-the-go spot removal. Regeki, pretty much obvious, and Book of Moon, obvious. Just good play interruption, as well as, you know, getting off effects like we deal damage to go to search, they finish chain, we book it, we get our search. It's pretty nice. So, for our traps, 1 torrential, 1 bottomless, and 1 compulse. The only interruption traps that the only of the main staple traps that we play. We do, however, play 3 fiendish chains, just because effect negation is just key. Being able to stop monster effects this day and age is really good, and we don't want to play things like skill drain or any bullshit shenanigans. And of course, Call of the Haunted. Call of the Haunted, I can say, is honestly one of the best cards for this deck, just because being able to revive any one of your things, you can revive bears, get free pops, you can revive machinemechlord during the end phase after they set something, and pop, you know, a back row card. So Call of the Haunted is extremely amazing in this deck, and it allows us to reuse our plays. It allows us to, you know, bring back Halberd if Halberd was, you know, destroyed or something when you try to do damage, be able to poke, search out itself, and then normal summon it and make an Xyz. So, for the extra deck, should we get into that now or later? You know, let's go into the other tech cards I was going to use first before the extra deck. So, I was originally running a Tsuke Knight. When an opponent's monster declares an attack while you have no cards in your hand, you can special summon this card and end the battle phase. You can only use its effect once per duel. It is a warrior, it's searchable. However, the thing with it that I didn't like is I really never used its effect. I would play test with it, and I would, you know, go ahead and get it in the graveyard as easy as possible, but I never really ever got to use its effect very often, because the deck just has so much searchability that you always have stuff in your hand. So Tsuke Knight really was honestly a bad tech choice for the deck. I did have a third Call of the Haunted, and it was nice because, you know, we constantly had ways of being able to revive monsters and bring them back without the use of like OCG things like Nodin, for example. But Nodin should be coming out, I think, on the 12th this month. I don't know, I think it was the 12th of September. Alright, and then 2 other cards. Gentlemander. I was running this at 2 because I thought that this was a good idea. Because if your opponent's monster declares an attack, you can special summon it, and then your opponent has to attack this. And then they go to re-declare an attack, you can summon the other one. And these are reptiles, they're searchable from King of the Feral Imps, which we do actually play in the deck. And being able to search his out I thought was pretty good. But with right now in the meta, there's so much spot removal that I didn't really think that it was a good idea to play the Gentlemanders. Sure, it's a nice lockdown because your opponent won't be able to attack you at all, but all it needs is one good card, and it completely interrupts the entire thing and makes it kind of null and void. Now, another thing I was thinking about doing was playing a Hanzo in the deck, just Hanzo at 1. But I didn't have any of the ninjutsu art of transformation cards. I was looking for them, and I didn't have any. But what I was thinking is I could go into, I could summon Hanzo, search on ninjutsu art of transformation, transform it into machinemechlord to get machinemechlord into the graveyard for the Call of the Haunteds. But I don't know being able to do that. Now, another thing I thought of is if you go Summoner Monk into Hanzo, like you bring out Hanzo, get to search out a ninja. I could not find any other level 4 ninjas. I was looking for Upstart Golden Ninja, couldn't find it. And plus, since he is a when this card is summoned, Goblinberg wouldn't have been able to trigger off Hanzo's effect. Another reason to have swayed my decision to not play the Hanzo. So, now into the extra deck. Things that I'm currently running right now that I do not want to run. Currently a Gaga Cowboy. I'm using it in the IRL build, but I won't be using it for very long. I'm going to get another Castell. Photon Purple Operative. Gonna swap it out for probably a Deltirios or something. Black Ship of Corn also gonna get replaced. I need a Teller Knight Ptolemaeus. My spare 101. Gonna end up getting swapped for probably Constellar Pleiades. My Dark Rebellion Seas Dragon probably going to get swapped for Constellar, Teller Knight Diamond. And then Utopia going to get swapped for probably an Ouroboros or something. But these are the things that are getting swapped. So I told you the cards that I was going to use. Things that I am going to use and will intend on using. Diamond Crab King. Everyone doubts Diamond Crab King. Everyone really does. And the reason why is because he is a generic rank 4 and he doesn't have any kind of removal effect. Okay. Your opponent's got Bottomless. He comes to 0 attack. Summon him. They can't Bottomless. You can go ahead. Switch into defense position after he attacks. After 3k. Number 101. Steal monsters. Gonna be keeping one. Exit a knight, nuke the back row. Castell, bounce things back to the deck that are annoying. Gaga Samurai makes for big damage. King of Fire Olymps to search out your Kages. And for the fusions, for the heroes, 1 Anki and 2 Darklaw. Sometimes you use both Darklaw, sometimes you go Anki, kill a monster, search out mass change, go into Darklaw. But anyways, guys, that sums it up for the deck. I hope you guys enjoy this toolbox of a rank 4 deck. It is really crazy, really interesting. It's a really crazy, like, techie variant. It works surprisingly well. So go ahead and subscribe today if you like this video. Give a like, and I will see you guys later.